Hello and welcome to good morning. Good morning is what I mean to say. You know what? I got to tell you, it still is uncomfortable for me to be in front of the camera. I'm a filmmaker. I'm used to being behind the camera, but I feel like I have something to share, something to offer. So I'm doing Big Purpose Mastermind. Welcome today. So glad to have you here. So Big Purpose Mastermind is for anyone who feels like they have a big purpose in life. They have a calling, a mission, a life's work to accomplish, and you're trying to figure out how to do that. I have felt that way and I haven't cracked the code. But what I'm doing is I am looking at some of the masters of influence, figuring out what they do right, what they do best, and maybe that'll help me crack the code to how to reach my audience and serve in hopefully remarkable ways. And hopefully it can help you too. So that's what this whole purpose is about. If you're watching this live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay, and hopefully I'll kind of juggle things enough to be able to chat with you in the comments on that. So this week is Russell Brunson week. Oh my goodness, so many good things. It's hard to cram him into just 5 days, for Monday through Friday, but really, really cool stuff here. So you're absolutely going to love this. Actually, let me run through the week with you so that you could see what we have in store. So yesterday we talked about his origin story and how he uses that to make a difference. He actually, and we used a specific origin story yesterday, which wasn't his potato gun story, which is the thing that if you're familiar with Russell Brunson, you will hear a lot. This was actually a time when his business almost failed. And anyway, it's a remarkable one. So you can catch that yesterday's session. Today we're going to talk about overcoming obstacles. He has some great advice for you and wonderful structure for that. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how he's using video to accomplish his big purpose. On Thursday we're going to talk about innovative video strategies that he is using, and then on Friday, clarity on who he is serving. He is just doing some really remarkable stuff. You're going to love this week. Okay, so let's start with the quote of the day. Okay, quote of the day comes from Henry Ford. He says, "Anyone who stops learning is old, whether they're 20 or 80." Okay, hopefully you are in that mindset of always learning. I've been hearing lately, actually, this keeps coming up, that when you can't accomplish something, it's because there's something that you don't know. And so I feel like total ignoramus because I feel like there's stuff that I am not being able to accomplish right now. So I'm learning, I'm observing as much as I can, and hopefully that's going to help me figure things out on those things that I don't know. And hopefully you are in that mindset too, where you're trying to, you recognize that there are things that you can learn that can help you get to that next level. Okay. So with that, really, I want to do just a little bit of training because Russell's going to take this training to a new level. So a lot of times I talk to people on the impact to income video formula. This is how you can connect with people in remarkable ways. I do a lot of, I go to a lot of public speaking events. And I have a lot of speakers in a lot of friends in the National Speakers Association. And one of the things that I have noticed is that story is a huge part for any really good speakers. They understand how to use that story, how to tell a story that really connects with their audience, that helps them feel empathy for them, and guides them on that journey. Well, here is kind of the formula for that. So you start out with a struggle. What you were working to do is to solve problems, okay? An entrepreneur gets paid for solving other people's problems. I didn't realize that for the longest time being an entrepreneur, and I totally didn't make an income because I wasn't focused on the problem. Then you get into story, the solution bridge. Russell's going to talk about that today. He's going to talk about it as an epiphany bridge. This is where you come up with the shortcut that's going to help other people avoid the pain that they are experiencing. You systemize that and you share that on stage, and that's the impact to income video formula. Okay, so Russell is going to take that to a new level. I just am astounded by how well he does this. As we start this out, I want you to recognize he's going to do hook, story, offer. Okay, the very beginning of this, as he shares this, is going to draw you in so that you want to watch the whole video. You know, you're not going to just hop on for just a second, but you want to watch the whole video. So let me turn up the volume to make sure that you can hear this, and then pay attention to that. See what techniques he does to get you hooked. Here we go.
And I was so excited. In my little potato gun business, I was making like $100 a day. Richest kid on campus right now. This is amazing, right? And then something really, really bad happened. Google slapped me.
Like you can even. Okay.
The man, Russell.
Okay. Sorry, I went a little too far on that because I kind of geeked out about it. Like even with the sound effects, I'm going to play this again just because I think it's so cool. You know, like he gets to this point and then there's a big shift. And if you heard the needle scratch, you know, like it totally stops you. It stops you audio, and then it stops you also in his storytelling. Okay. He does a great job with his hook to make you want to watch the whole thing. Okay. And then he has that at the beginning, and then he'll have a little intro about himself, and then he gets into the video. So hook, story, offer, super important. If you are creating videos and they're not sticking, you're probably not hooking people right. You're probably not getting that hook. So here we go.
And I was so excited. In my little potato gun business,
listen for the
like $100
needle
a day.
Scratch.
Richest kid on campus right now. This is amazing, right? And then something really, really bad happened.
Then
Google slapped me.
Okay. And then, you know, so there's like the jump forward. Okay. So hook, story, offer, very important. I'm going to fast forward to about the 1 minute mark where he is going to dissect storytelling. Okay. There are 3 core things to every story he's pointing out here. There's a story structure. There's a formula actually for stories. And I got to back up, but I got to tell you just one other thing. Stories are so powerful because stories are metaphors for life. When we hear story, we kind of lean forward. We love stories. They draw us in. And the reason that they draw us in is because there are things that we know we can learn in there, because these are like little mini life lessons, and our whole life is about lessons. Okay. So there's this formula for story, and he's going to explain that to us in a way that that is really good. By the way, this is a video on his YouTube page called "If You're Struggling to Grow Your Business, You Need to Watch This." So you're going to want to check that out. You're going to watch the whole video because I'm only going to be able to show you snippets. Here are 3 core things. Here we go.
Story. There's a character. That character has some desire, something that they want. And then on the path, on the journey of them to get that thing, they run into some kind of conflict.
Hero's journey.
What I want to do, I want to show you is how do we take that? Because after Michael Hay taught us that, I was like, oh, this is so cool. How do I do that? What I'm doing? Like there's so many layers and complexity. I'm like, how do I simplify that? And so for years, like literally over 4 years, I was trying to figure some things out.
Okay, so he's trying to figure this out. He discovers a lot of things. He comes up with the Epiphany Bridge script. I'm going to jump into the backstory. This is important.
Where you tell good stories, right? Now, the goal of the backstory is to get rapport with your audience so they actually care if you achieve the thing at the end.
Yeah, they care about you.
There's 2 things we have to share with our audience. Number 1 are external desires. These are the ones that most of you guys are comfortable with, like, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to make money. Oh, I want to do whatever, right? And these are the ones that most people feel comfortable sharing because it's like the surface level, whatever, right? It's the journey of transformation or of achievement. Like, oh, yeah, I want that. I want to achieve that. But then you have to stop. And second, you have to share are your internal desires. You know, internal desires
really
are the
important.
things that most of us don't typically ever share. We think them, we feel them, but we don't ever talk about it. And so as soon as you start sharing your internal desires, this is when people will relate to you because like, man, I can't believe you said that. Like, that's how I feel. I don't ever talk about that with anybody. And so to get
okay, I never talk about that with anybody. Oh, this kind of hit me hard because, you know, as I'm looking at this stuff, I'm realizing that I share my external desires all the time, but maybe I don't share my internal desires. And what he pointed out was when you share that, a lot of times people go, wow, I can't believe he just said that. And that is where you have to get a little bit more vulnerable. And you talk about why are we doing Big Purpose Mastermind or whatever it is that you're doing. You know, for me, it's because I felt like for so long in my life, I did have a purpose, but I wasn't living it. And I was afraid if I die right now, I will have wasted my life. I will have not done the thing that I was sent here to do. And it haunted me. And actually, it still haunts me a little bit because I'm not quite sure if I'm on that path because I haven't achieved the success that I thought I would get. Anyway, there's that haunting in there. I'm doing what I can, live that purpose. But anyway, so I appreciate that he points out in the in the storytelling, there's the internal conflict or the external conflict, the one everyone can see, and then the internal one, the one that truly drives you as you share that. Okay, so I want to play just a little bit more in here.
Internal desire. A lot of times you say, here's the external desire. I want to make a lot of money. And you get the internal, usually ask why about 7 or 8 times. Well, why?
This is how you get deeper, deeper.
Cool. Okay, well, why do you want that? Well, I just got married.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I just have to explain the 7 levels deep why question. If you say why, okay. So if you ask the question on why you want some sort of motivation, like I want to make a lot of money for that. Then you say, why do you want to make a lot of money? And then you come up with a reason. He says here, I want to have a family and support him. Well, why do you want to have that? And then you say that back. You just keep repeating that until you go like 7 different questions deep. And when you do that, what you're going to find is you're going to find the real motivation inside of you. And that is protected down there under all of these layers. But when you get down to that vulnerability of why you truly are motivated to do some sort of action, that's where you get clarity. Okay, it's a wonderful exercise to do. I'm just going to continue.
It'd be cool to support my wife. I want a kid someday. Okay, cool. Why do you want to do that? My parents growing up were good supporters, and I want to be like them. Why is that? Why? And keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And eventually you get to the real internal desires, which typically are related to you want to feel loved, you want to feel acceptance, you want to change the world, you want whatever those things are that are internal to you. All right, how many of you guys want to hear me do the Epiphany Bridge story?
So that's how he gets to his internal desires. That's how he crafts his stories. And then what he does in this video is he shares his Epiphany Bridge story, which goes back to the potato gun story. And you may have heard this a lot if you're a Russell Brunson fan. If not, he shares it, and it's great. But he demonstrates what it's like to tell these, to craft a story, to put these different elements in, and how it pulls people in to where there's an attractive character in there, where there's an external desire that you can see, and where's that internal desire, this ache inside that just needs to be fulfilled. When you craft those things into your stories, that is where you're really going to make a difference and a great connection with your people. That is the secret of storytelling. Storytelling is so powerful. It's it's everything. Okay. Stories are metaphors for life. So I wanted to share that with you. Let's see. Okay. I want to share the end of this too. So I'm not going to play his here's his potato gun. There's a video of it. I love that in his storytelling, he shows himself where he's awkward and still trying to figure things out. And he does that because he wants, here's him, building and shooting his potato gun. But he wants people to recognize, holy cow, I'm like that, and really connect. So anyway, I just want to play the end of this because he shares about how it all comes together. So here we go.
That sounds awesome. As we started building this thing that became ClickFunnels, to build funnels by myself. I think.
Okay.
We have a bunch of kids. The cool thing for me.
Here we go.
See a picture of my kids. I kind of hang out with my kids now. My kids are building funnels with us.
This is his solution. This is his end of his story, sort of.
The world that's completely transformed my life. And that is the Epiphany Bridge script.
Okay, so he demonstrates it. He teaches people how to do this, and then he uses his own life, his own examples to be able to help people connect that way. Remarkable, absolutely amazing stuff. I am so loving Russell Brunson Week, so loving the things that I'm learning there. If you missed yesterday, or if you have missed any of our other Masters of Influence and want to catch those, you can catch them for free at schoolofhumanity.tv. That's .tv instead of .com. And you'll find Clint Pulver, Lisa Nichols, Mel Robbins, Marie Forleo, and many more there. Really awesome stuff. And hopefully that gives you the encouragement. Hopefully that gets you sparked and started for the day, that you realize, yes, you do have a calling, a mission, a life's work to accomplish. Something that I would say is a big purpose. And now that you've got just a little bit of encouragement, go make life better.